type of chemical reaction, combustion reactions. For this lesson, you'll need your notes guideline for the 5 types of reactions. Combustion reactions are actually the easiest of the 5 types to identify. They're also really easy to figure out what the products will be. Sometimes the only tough part for combustion reactions is the balancing of the equations. To identify combustion reactions, you just need to know the definition. The definition of a combustion reaction is it's a substance that combines with oxygen to form with oxides. So to identify for these types of reactions, you look for oxygen, or O2. Remember, oxygen is a diatomic element, as a reactant. There are 2 types of combustion reactions that you're required to know for lab chemistry. The first type is called the combustion of an element. You would know this type of reaction already because this can also be identified as a composition reaction. You're taking 2 elements, one of them being oxygen, and combining them together to form a compound. Here's an example where you're taking magnesium and reacting it with oxygen, burning it, combusting it to form magnesium oxide. To balance this chemical sentence, you're going to go from left to right and make sure that you have the same number and type of atoms on the reactant side of the reaction as you do on the product side. We have 1 magnesium to the left of the yields arrow, and we have 1 to the right. There are 2 oxygens to the left of the yields arrow on the reactant side, but only 1 on the product side. So I will need to change the coefficient to a 2. Of course, this means we now have 2 magnesium atoms on the product side, so I put a 2 in front of the magnesium on the reactant side to balance that out. Because there's 1 single product in this example, we know that could also be called a composition reaction. The other type of reaction for combustion that you need to know is the combustion of a hydrocarbon. Hydrocarbons are compounds containing the elements hydrogen and carbon. Might be why they call them hydrocarbons. During complete combustion of a hydrocarbon, which means it's burned completely, you always get the same products. The carbon reacts with oxygen to form carbon dioxide, and the hydrogen reacts with oxygen to form water, vapor, or steam. Here's an example. C3H8 is a substance known as propane. You would use that in a charcoal grill or another type of grill at home. It reacts with oxygen, so I know that's a combustion reaction. And the products are always the same, carbon dioxide and water. To balance this reaction, we have 3 carbons to the left, but only 1 carbon to the right. So I'm going to add a coefficient of 3 in front of carbon dioxide. We have 8 hydrogens to the reactant side, but only 2 on the product side. So I'll change the coefficient to a 4. 4 times 2 is 8. I have 2 oxygen atoms to the left, the reactant side. I now have 3 times 2, 6, plus 4 more from water, or 10 oxygen atoms total. 2 times 5 equals 10, so I'll change the coefficient in front of oxygen to a 5. Hydrocarbon molecules can get pretty big. Here's one you've seen before, C25H52. That substance is called paraffin. Paraffin was the waxy goop in the lava lamps from earlier in the year. Paraffin is also a type of wax that can be made into candles. So this reaction is basically just the burning of a candle. The balancing can be a little tough because the numbers get pretty big. We have 25 carbons on the left and only 1 carbon on the right. So I'm going to put a coefficient of 25 in front of the C. I have 52 hydrogens on the reactant side, the left, and only 2 on the right. 2 times 26 is 52. I just have 2 oxygens on the reactant side. I now have 25 times 2, 50, plus 26 more oxygens from water. 50 plus 26 is 76 oxygens. Use a calculator if you need to, but 38 times 2 equals 76. I'll place a 38 as the coefficient in front of the O2. To recap, it's really easy to identify this type of reaction. Once you see oxygen listed as a reactant, you know that it's combustion. The products are really easy to get. They're always the same, carbon dioxide and water. The balancing can be a little tough, but you can handle it. Just keep trying and use the top 10 steps to balancing success.